starting to call me the GOAT, yeah, yeah. They starting to call me the GOAT, yeah, yeah. They starting to call me the GOAT, yeah, yeah. I told a bad bitch, give me dope, yeah, yeah. All of my niggas afloat, yeah, yeah. 20s all over the float, yeah, yeah. Money all over the float, yeah, yeah. Now they say I am
So in order for you to really do the right thing, you have to really measure. You'll take the amount of hair that is appropriate. Now, ideally, you might use this size or even a size larger for, for a spiral, but you really don't want to go smaller than this. Okay, it's a long hair, it's not going to really wrap properly. So you don't want to take bigger, too much big. Like, I cannot really take all of this and create a spiral perm wrap in here. Common sense, right? So that's the reason why it's such long time, such a long consuming process, because you're taking much more less amounts of hair. So one thing with the spiral, you want to make sure you have control of the hair. And the end wrapping I love because you can use the bookend wrap, the lengthwise. You can kind of fold it. It's much more less ends of hair to control. And what I like to do, especially with our mannequins, because they're so thin and so stringy and all of that, I like to double the wrap. That means I like to put one right above it.
Do we have to do that with all of them?
It's not you have to, but it really helps with the wrapping process. It really does. Like you can wrap a little bit more easier without being afraid those little stringies are going to come through, and you have to keep on controlling them. So you have an option the way you wrap. Okay, it can be towards this direction or it can be towards this direction. It is suggested that you alternate directions to create a little bit more unique flow of the curls. You don't want the curls to go all in the same direction. You can alternate them in rows, or you can alternate them in each individual. I can do one this way, one the other way. It doesn't matter as long as you mix it up a little bit. I like to do it by rows just to be a little bit more kind of precise. So the beginning of it, because the ends are a little thin, you have to make sure you have a tight grip of the hair. So you're going to make sure, that's another thing. I like to have my my band on the bottom and close it bottom up. Some people hold it the other way and close it top to bottom. Either way is acceptable, either way is fine. I just prefer this way better. I'd rather have it on the bottom out of my way. Okay, so a quick little trick. You're going to put this right at the base, okay, right at the ends, because you have to make sure you allow all the space for every hair to be wrapped up. So you're going to rotate it a couple of times. Because the hair is so thin on the bottom, you want to have a good grip before you start pulling and using a little bit of tension. If you pull and you don't have a grip of it, you're going to lose it and you're just going to go crazy. All right, so after I do this, this is what I'm going to do, okay? And this is just something extra, a little bit more fancy to get a little bit more of a cute coil. All you're going to do is just going to twist this rod just a couple of times. See how it's making a little twist into the hair? Just a couple of times, don't go crazy, okay? Once you do that, okay, because the hair is coiled up a little bit, you're going to wrap it a lot more easier, and you have to make sure you spread the hair along the whole length of the rod. And you'll see, because you twisted it a little bit, it's going to give you a little bit of kind of like a coil effect or a spiral effect. That's why it's called a spiral. The only thing that's not going to be as coiled is just the top, unless you keep on twisting it, which is not, a wrong thing. And then you close it. Now, a spiral can be loose too if you're not really tightening it right. So the same exact technique. Let's say if it was here, it would be kind of like almost falling apart. So the same thing. You're going to move it and you're going to twist it a little bit. But either way, do not twist too much. coming down to the last stretch. You're coming down to the last stretch.
What am I supposed to do here?
Oh, no,
Same thing?
you're doing good, yeah. Except when you finish, like when you come to this tiny thingy, all you can do is just split it in the middle. And then and you do 1, 2, 3. You make it kind of like a little star.
Okay.
Yep. When you reach the temple area, you got time. Baby.
It depends where you locate that. What's that? Probably the same. I want to master